Penetration is when the penis enters an orifice.
Hi, everyone. I'm Peter, and I'm here to tell you a bit about System Denmark, which was a political action LARP set in a public square in Copenhagen in 2005. With System Denmark, we wanted to transmit a political vision, or rather a political dystopia, of a future Denmark with a great democratic deficit, where the weakest people of society lived in special confined sectors and were held there by a bureaucratic system that wouldn't let them out. We tried to make this game as available as possible for non-LARPers and for new LARPers, so it was made to be fun and exciting for the participants. So it included drugs, it included violence to a certain degree, it included great parties, it included a lot of concerts and, well, excitement. On the other hand, we tried to make a social realistic setting, a setting where people actually lived and where the LARP itself depicted everyday life in this sector, depicted the life in a sort of a Hollywood slum. A slum setting where you lived like crap, but you actually got some food, you actually got your drugs, you actually got to drink beer at night and go to parties and concerts. So it varied a lot. The experience varied a lot from the HYPERSLUN to the rich kids partying out in the sector. This is how people lived at System Denmark. Different kinds of container lifestyles. Everybody lived in containers. Between 8 to 16 persons lived in a 40-foot container. The setting of System Denmark was something like this. 42 containers set in a public square and fenced from the outside world. It was actually possible for bypassers to look inside the setting, but not for the people playing the LARP to look out. And 350 people lived in this sector, the C sector we called it, different from the A and B sectors, lived here for 52 hours and sort of depicted a future dystopia, as I said. So this project, System Denmark, our baby, it took 9 months to prepare it. And it took 1 month of heavy labor to deliver the baby. This is the square, TOFTEGARDS, where we built the setting. We had 2 professional craftsmen working on the set and about 50 to 80 volunteers working on building the setting. As you see, we're building beds here for the players. There were built like 40 of these. The building took place over a month in all kinds of weather. This is the product we made. The C sector in System Denmark, a Hollywood slum city. The LARP was, or the setting was divided into 4 parts, which differed in the play style. First, we had a butcher district in the top left corner. This was the rulers of the C sector. We had the butchers having a sort of a street restaurant in the area. The meat hook, it's called. A group of boxers trying to get out of the sector by fighting well and being famous, getting famous. And we had the metropolitans, the rulers of shit town, sitting on a porch and the only second level container there was, overviewing the whole plaza. We also had the more social realistic part of town, the conservative quarter, where people tried to withhold the traditional Danish society, pretending not to live in a slum city. So the HANSEN family lived there and tried to keep up appearances. They were defended, or, well, they tried at least, by the Home Guard, a sort of a vigilante nationalist group, keeping rabble from their gates. We also had a minority quarter. These were the happy people in System Denmark. It was the people from abroad that came to Denmark to start a new life and actually found the sea sector quite appealing compared to where they came from. So these were the people being entrepreneurs in System Denmark, or in the sea sector at least, having street restaurants, tattoo parlors, bars, stuff like that. And the minority sector also contained the more cyberpunkish aspects of System Denmark. The WHITEPUNKS, sort of a future punk group. What did I do now? The Trash Pack, organized around a charismatic leader based on violence as a tool of communication. And they built all sorts of stuff. We had a barber and a blacksmith working in the sector during the game. The last sector was the party sector, a place where everybody went to drink away their sorrows at night. This is also where the A-kids came, the kids from other sectors than the C sector who came to the C sector to go slumming, to see what this was all about, to get their drugs. The party sector staged a lot of concerts, staged fights. It also hosted a SECT oriented around a love guru, buying time from people and selling it again. And not least, we had the HYPERSLUNers, which I find as one of the most interesting groups. The HYPERSLUNers wanted a hardcore experience. And got it as well. Their only rule for the other players was that they wouldn't be urinated on while they slept. But it happened anyways. But these people were being severely abused and beaten, urinated upon by the other players. We had drug addicts, or former drug addicts, teaching these people how to be real hyperslummers, how to be addicts a few weeks before the game. I also have to say all players participated in an obligatory workshop before the game, which prepared them for the game and where they prepared the starting scenes, the point of beginning the game. The system was the bureaucratic hellhole where everybody had to go to get their money, to get their social fundings during the game. It usually consists of you waiting for a very long time and then going to a meeting with the person who said, yeah, you have some very interesting ideas. We would love to look into that, but we can't. We really can't do anything for you. But you have to go there, you have to get your money. The Larp contains, as I said, a lot of different experiences. Everything from the WHITEPUNKS partying out, wreaking havoc in the sector, to the family HANSEN, which dealt with incest and violence in the family and stuff like that. So the experiences varied a lot, and the players chose which kind of play they wanted themselves before the game. So this is hyperslummers beating each other at the main street of System Denmark. And as you see here, a bit more cyberpunkish setting at the Lucky Punk Pharmacy, a former punk band, which were now the pharmacists of System Danmarc, or this part of it anyways. Yeah. So this is basically what it looked like at a standard workplace in the C sector. Oh yeah, and the hyperslummers, of course, didn't live in containers. They lived in makeshift sheds that they built themselves before and during the game. So this is what we actually made with our 9 months of work and 1 month of hard labor. We made a C sector where people could play out some sort of dystopian version of Danish society without democracy. What we did to end the game was to gather all the players in a central hall. Sadly, I can't show you any of the movie. I don't have the time, I see. We gathered all the players in a central hall and showed them a documentary we made about the lives of homeless people in contemporary Copenhagen. And what it did was, this game was rather fun to play, as I've told you. There was a lot of partying, there was drugs, there was violence. But this movie pulled them back to the real world, to Denmark today, and showed them that this illusion that they had made for a few days was actually going on in Copenhagen at the moment, right now. And with this, I think I'll stop for now. Thank you.